Hey guys, so we finally did it. We finally got a winner card from our locals. We were able to go undefeated with Blurple Kaido in the OP06 meta. This is early on. Obviously, there was a lot of new tech that was added into this deck, and this is going to be a deck profile. But there you go. One of my first wins, well, first win ever with Blurple Kaido. It's been a long time. I've always been a Blurple main. Just recently started playing some Uta there just because we've been doing so many events and whatnot. But this is going to be an OP06 deck profile for Blurple Kaido there, since I haven't seen too many videos on Blurple Kaido because I think everyone gave up on him. But he is my favorite leader, and I hope to keep playing with him and building him up. But here we go, deck profile. We'll be starting off with 4 Who's Who. A staple to a Blurple Kaido is to help you find that rock, pull 5 cards, look for that rock, pull some other cards, and hopefully able to ramp that down and just get to the 10 drops and 9 drops pretty quickly. So we'll do 4 Who's Who into 3 rocks. I found 3 rocks was your best choice. 4 was a little too much. Less than 3 wasn't enough, but this deck does have some cards that will help you ramp even if you don't hit these rocks. So 3 rocks. We have 2 Zoros. Just if you can't find that rock, you can't find your ramp, Zoro is a great card to play also. Just take that first hit, hopefully hitting a trigger, pulling a rock, or pulling something. If not, play that Zoro down, swing, and get that extra ramp. You probably will be able to get at least 1 swing off of him, attaching 1 Dawn, taking a hit, and then ramping that Dawn, and then just attaching to Kaido. So you can play this pretty early on, which is great. The next thing is, if you completely brick your mulligan and your hand's completely bad, this is an opportunity to play this card here, which will just essentially shuffle in your hand and just get another mulligan and hopefully find that rock on 3 turns. If you're unable to find those Who's Who, Oshimi, your rock, and or Zoro. So we play a 3 of that. We're going to be playing your Basil Hawkins, which is a 1k and also just a great trigger card, allowing you to play the body and getting a ramp card. So that's why you generally will take 1 or 2 hits off the top, just so you can see if you can kind of out ramp your opponent there. Miss Double Finger is going to be your first 2ks. We run 4 of this. You probably won't run this off a trigger too often, just because you do have to minus your Dawn, and you kind of want to ramp your opponent really quick. So we play a 4 of just for the 2k essentially, and then if you have a lot of bricks or a lot of cards that are unusable, she is usable to re-ramp after maybe a Kaido bomb or a rush Kaido. We run a 3 of X-Drake here, which has always been a staple. Minusing 1 Dawn will force your opponent to discard a card, which most of the time they can choose, but near the end game, when card hand size is low and people are kind of in a drought for those cards, this could be the difference from having that 1k counter that could help you fatal the game. And if you're at 10 Dawn anyways and nothing else to play, this is a great card to just drop and minus out a card from your opponents. We run a 3 of Ulti here, a great staple that came in on OP05. I didn't really do a deck profile for OP05, which I can also do. I've been playing Blurple Kaido since OP04 when it started in October, but this was also great tech that was added in. You just look at 3 cards and keep 1 card to hand, and you don't even need to show your opponent. So we run a 3 of that. Pudding. We run 2 of. Any blue deck right now should be running Pudding. This is a great card to kind of have in your deck, just because it will scare your opponents off, knowing that if they keep their hand size large, they could lose it all and just force forced to just discard everything they have and just get new cards. Great against Sakazuki, who's constantly milling and building that hand size, building that perfect curve. So I run 2 of them only. I know a lot of people say they should probably run more, but for me, 2 is enough to see the tech. I also run this one here since OP05. It's just the law, blocker law. If they have more than seven or more cards, you just minus out a Dawn, and then they just, you know, you get to pick 2 cards, and hopefully that's enough to ruin their curve or forcing them to really rethink of what's, like, how many cards they should be keeping in hand. So another another great card to add in. Another great card that is in the current meta that's being used for this deck list anyways is X-Drake. It just allows you to reorganize your hand and put it top or bottom, so it can really be devastating with more future cards that I do have in the deck, such as putting the Sanji in there, pairing it into like a Rush Kaido or even a Queen or King. Great card. I'm only running a 2 of right now because there's so many great cards I want to keep in this deck. It's so fun to play. There's so many paths and different ways you can play this deck. The next one is obviously your Queens, staple for purple always. Just draw 2, discard 1, 4 Queens, blocker. Once again, can be lined up with that X-Drake, can help you find that rock. Great card, running a 4 of. Not much to say. If you play Blurple Kaido, you know you have to have the Queens in your deck there. Another one which I used to run more of, which is this King. I used to run like a 3 of, but now it's just a 2 of. Once again, just allowing you to attach Dawn to Kaido, getting that ramp, KOing a 4 cost, which ends up being a blocker, or maybe something that can help you kind of finish off the game, or just helping clear board. Just a 2 of. New tech that's in OP06 was from the pre-release event, which was this Zoro card, a great banish card. If you're able to ramp off of your life, if you're able to get that rock, playing this on turn like 2 is very devastating. It's such a, you know, 6 Dawn, 7 cost, and into a banish. I run 2 of. Great into like an Uta, great into Yamato, which ends up using a lot of resources to try to double swing you. So if you definitely a very hard card to get rid of too, because it is a 6 cost and 6 cost 7k attack. So that's a 2 of there. The next card we're running in our deck is the new Sanji Secret Rare. 9 costs, just allows you to play top deck and then play for free. So you generally will use like an X-Drake or use like your King or an ulti or something to just be able to reorganize your cards, and then kind of set up this Sanji into this Rush Kaido. So you just essentially use X-Drake, reorganize, knowing that you're going to pull Sanji off top, and then your next card is going to be this Kaido. You attach 1 Dawn to Kaido, you play this Sanji card, which your next card should be this Rush Kaido, minusing it out, KOing one of your opponent's characters, ramping that Dawn, and then just have this 2 big bodies out. You know, here's essentially 18 Dawns worth of play for 9 Dawn, which is actually insane. You can also attach it into like a banish card, or like you can have it into a blocker if you're trying to play more defensive. You can pair it into a King, pretty much anything. You can completely gamble with it, or just set it up with your X-Drakes. Set up your X-Drakes, putting it top, and just I think even ulti here will allow you to put it from top to bottom. So there's a lot of utility in Kaido, which will allow you to play that card pretty strong. once again, 2 Rush Kaidos to pair it with the Sanjis. You don't want too many of these because it's very difficult to play the -5s, because you can generally play maybe one of these, 2 of them if you're ramping. Like if you're able to pair it with a rock and like a king, or if you were able to put down a Zoro early on in the game and kind of have the extra swing, you can double rush Kaido. Sanji double rush Kaido, you won't be able to do attach and KO, but very, very strong combinations for sure. We have the secret Kaido in here from OP05 as a way to kind of flood the board, as a way to kind of restock your cards when you're hitting like a Sakazuki or a deck that doesn't have a lot of big bodies that you have to deal with. And if everyone's just low on card count, this is a great way to pop it. I generally will want to try to ramp to 10 Dawn real quick, and then if I'm able to pop this down, if it's safe, if I have like 2-3 life left and I can get a card count up and the board is kind of clear on my opponent's side, dropping one of these or even 2 of them if you can, lining it up with like X Drake and just getting a lot of counter will give you a really great board advantage and also a card advantage. Just be careful running into like a blue player because they can pudding you, or even a purple player who can kind of use the law. But honestly, at that point, if you're able to drop a couple of those, it won't really matter. We do a one of this 10 drop Kaido bomb. You really won't drop this on the field unless you're in that kind of panic mode. You have to have at least to play it safely, probably at least 1 to 2 life, or you'll probably just get destroyed. If you have 0 life, you do not want to drop this because the next swing your opponent's just going to swing hard on you and you automatically lose. So definitely make sure your opponent doesn't have a rush character in their hand or could play a rush character on you. Make sure you have at least 1 to 2 Dawn if you're going to try to play this aggressively, but you do have to have at least 1 of these in your deck just so the opponent knows that it could happen to them, and it kind of scares them off a little. I do run a 1 of this 10 drop Kaido also. I don't get to use it too often, but being able to clear out a blocker or a big body against Moria, and if I have a board established, it's a great way to kind of reduce the aggro that you're gonna get, or force the opponent to rethink of trying to fiddle you, removing blockers, removing some maybe like a 7 mom or something that could hurt you. Is a great card. Once again, you would try to run these with this secret Kaido into this, into your rush Kaidos, into finishing off the game. But this is more in use when you have your board established, when you have lots of cards in hand to kind of block stuff out, and just trying to remove blockers. It just removes an 8 cost and a 3 cost. I don't get to use it much, but it is part of the utility just because you just want to be able to have a lot of different tech to keep the opponent guessing. So that was the last character card, and then we're running the Gum Jet Gatling, which is always a must. A 3k counter, getting rid of any useless cards in your hand, and also helping you to ramp that Dawn. Once again, I always take at least 1 or 2 hits early on to try to get these ramp cards. Sometimes if you get really lucky, you might hit 10 Dawn before your opponent even gets hitting 6, and if you have some of the big Kaidos down, you can really put up some damage before your opponent can really recover from all that. So Blurple Kaido is looking pretty strong in the OP06 meta. Sakazuki feels like at least a 50-50. It's just depending on how quickly they can remove it and how lucky you're getting with the triggers. Enel you probably won't see too much, but we do see some at the locals and different events, so Enel doesn't feel too bad either. You're able to build that board really quick. You're able to get those big bodies out and kind of in and out pretty quickly. Green Uta is a little harder just because they flood the board so quickly. If they get lucky with those combination, then it's definitely going to be an issue. The main weakness I find with this Blurple Kaido is going to be into like red decks. Whitebeard, you probably won't see too much, but we do have a few Whitebeard players. It's probably a slight underdog, if not a 50-50 into Whitebeard. If you're able to flood that board really quick and kind of take those take a couple of those hits, ramp quickly, and get some bodies on there, the Whitebeard can have some difficulty with it. Zoro and Law are going to be definitely more difficult because they want to try to end you really quick. But other than that, your dreaded matchup will definitely be Katakuri. Very, very hard to survive those 7-drop moms and also the 10-drop big moms. You do want to take those hit earlies, trying to probably avoid giving your opponent the life from the 7 moms, and then hopefully establish a board quick enough that they can't play the 10-drop big mom, because if they do, maybe you'll only have 1 or 2 life left, and you can get them down quickly. So definitely swing those Zoros, definitely try to get those banished Zoro hits out. Blockers really don't do too much. You just gotta Zerg Big Mom down before she can really drop the 10 drops, and hopefully they just hard brick. But your hardest matchup will definitely be Big Mom there. But that is the deck profile. I'll probably do another video in the future doing some live matchup with the current metas. I do have a few local buddies that have that are playing some of the main metas. We'll bring this to meme deck Saturdays and see what Blurple Kaido can do. Deeper into the meta, probably gonna be very difficult for Blurple Kaido. Like I said, I was wanting to keep playing Kaido, but seeing that Katakuri is still very, very powerful and strong into the meta, I decided to go with an green Uta instead into the regionals. But you'll see a deck profile on that soon also. But hopefully this helps some of my Blurple Kaido fans out there who wants to at least play him. He is playable, so let's see if we can make Blurple Kaido great again, give him a little more life support, and see how he does in EBO1. But if I do find any more variants or any other cool cards that we can kind of give Kaido a little more energy, then I'll definitely do a video on it. If any other Blurple Kaido players are out there, let me know in comments. I've been playing Blurple since I started, and I actually have a full binder of just tech stuff for him. So anything that was ever in use for Blurple Kaido is essentially a play set in here for me to try to make him good. I definitely tried the Magellan, was not the greatest. We've tried different event cards, we've done Red Rocks, we've done the 5-cost kids, we've done everything you can think of to try to make Purple Blurple Kaido usable, but right now he is playable. He may not be in that meta, but he's at least in that B tier, A tier. We even tried Usopp. We haven't seen Blurple Kaido really hit any events in top events, but we do have a community of Purple players. I saw some of you guys at the regional, and we're all excited to have that meme Blurple Kaido deck. Kaya was in there. Arlong was such a great card. Definitely cooks Nami up. Just reveals a event card for your opponent, and then they just lose a life to bottom deck. Like we're gonna make this man more playable and hopefully more fun. We'll see you on the next one. Hit that like and subscribe if this is content that you like. Thanks for watching. I love the support. I love reading all the comments. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Be safe. Bye.